Hey, shalom, shalom. Starting off by giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Machakwadash. Peace, peace, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, the men that taught us this truth and that rule well in the faith and rule well in the doctrine of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. And shalom unto the elect, all right? Because that's who these lessons are for, the elect of the nation of Israel. And, going by the title, I'm going to stick to that topic loosely and touch on other things through the spirit. Um, you can see that the time is running dangerously low for this man and his wicked kingdom. And when I say this man, I'm of course referring to the biblical Edomites, which are the ones that run this earth right now. All right, they are the ones that rule the earth. And it's plainly obvious that their kingdom, something feels different about this time around. This year, you know, this spring, the Lord said, one of the scriptures that we quote a lot, Matthew 16, you can discern the face of the sky, but can you not discern the signs of the times? And it's just like when you're in a car running, and you don't gas the tank up, what happens? It gives you, the fuel is low. I got a hybrid, so when I drive, uh, it says, if you don't fuel, you could damage the fuel cell. So it says you got to fill it up like it's an urgent message. And pretty much this man is on his last leg, and that's why they're wilding out. That's why you see Sleezy E getting more reckless with his enchantments and more reckless. He's just throwing it out there. Look what I'm doing to you people. And you know, the American people are so damn stupid that they still don't do anything about it. He's telling you to your face, I'm letting people come in and rob your houses with the squatting thing, right? Which that has been a problem for years. It's just ironic now. Well, I'll say it's interesting now that they choose now to make that a huge issue. Now everybody's talking about it. Why? Because they had that one agent come out and say the so-called Latino, which now they're making us the new face of extremism, all right, and danger. Okay, but they had a one guy come out and say, "Oh yeah, you can go and squat." Mi gente, a loudmouth nigga, and he was up there, ruffling up feathers. And why is that? Because squatting has been a problem for years, man. You see, when is it that squatting just became a problem? Squatting has been a problem for a long time, but now they're making it a big deal. All right, now they're making it a big deal because they want to put the demonization on the northern tribes, which is the so-called Latinos and Native Americans, primarily the so-called Latino tribes. Okay, and now they're trying to popularize. Okay, well, in these states you can go and you can squat and you can basically steal somebody's shit. And then what kind of just society would allow such a thing? Where somebody works hard their whole life, they do everything right according to the book. They go and get they might get an education or they might just start a business. They become successful. They have enough money, they get approved for a loan, they purchase a home, they work hard, they pay the mortgage, and then they might, let's say, they go on vacation for a month. They say, you know what, I've been working for years for this. I'm gonna go to the Caribbean with my family for a month. You come back, somebody squatting in your house, and they have rights over your private property. Excuse me. And what just and equitable society would that be allowed? And what just and equitable society would that be allowed? It wouldn't be allowed. Okay. Now, Florida, they just passed something to where you have to if you are not a tenant of the property, you can't just pull up there and just come up in there. That's a crime. But they're empowering people to commit crimes. They're empowering people to be able to take other people that work hard private property. which is all wickedness. And that's set up deliberately. And Esau, the elites, they're pretty much seeing like how far can we push these people? Because the American and that's the thing that Esau is faced with now, because he's made this population so docile, and now he kind of needs them to spaz out to have justification to do his next moves. And they're too docile to do anything. He's throwing shit right in your face about what he's doing, and the people they barely react. They'll be mad about it, but they don't do anything about it. You see. But now we're coming to the time where they are going to start doing things about it, because there's always a limit, even for these stupid, Babylonian imbeciles. There's a limit to how much they'll, be willing to take. And, you can see how the lead up to the election, that will most likely be the final straw. All right. That will most likely be the final straw. And again, what's going to happen, with the police force, with the police forces being thinned out, you're going to have a lot of these Babylonians. They're going to start to take matters into their own hands. And that's when it's going to get exciting. That's when you're going to see Jacob's trouble. All right. Because we're entering now into the beginning of sorrows. All right. So you're going to have these things. All right. You're going to have militias. You're going to have sedition. The scripture says it. Okay. You're going to have rebellion against their kings. Their action will stand in their own hand. Roughly paraphrasing. Forgive me, I'm on the road. I have my sword on me, but I can't read right now. At night on the road, and there's a lot of cars on the road right now. If I was in traffic, I wouldn't mind reading. But anyways, they're basically that they're going to begin to take things into their own hands, because people are just completely fed up. Everything is being exposed. Everything that happens, how much corruption, because you can complain and complain and complain, but if you don't do anything about it, you're just complaining in vain after a while. So now they're going to come to the point where it's going to be an ego check for the American people. And and it's already been that, but it's going to be a super ego check going into the time of this election. And they're going to say, like, you're just going to let your country, you're just going to let your country just be hijacked like this. What are you going to do about it? And they are going to begin to rise up. And that's exactly what the elites want to happen. And then they can have further justification. All right. But the scripture mentions, the liberal in Isaiah, the 32nd chapter. And it's that liberal mindset that pushes a lot of the debauchery. But pretty much all the debauchery comes from the left hand, which is a spiritual demon Satan upon the elites. But we know that the scripture says in Revelation 13 that it had two horns like a lamb, and spake as a dragon. So you have this two-party dichotomy of the Democrats and the Republicans, but they are like gangs, Democrats and Republicans, right? So you have the two-party system, but really they all standing up for wickedness anyway. But the right, the right, it's like the fake righteous. The Republicans are the fake righteous. They're the fake. They act like they're the God-fearing party, or the ones that are on the side of the Lord, so on and so forth. But you're all wicked yourselves, all right? The Lord ain't dealing with you, because that's another form of Edomite supremacy. But it just, they fake and present themselves as righteous, but they're still capitalists. You see? So they're still about what? Pillaging the earth, all right? Continuously consuming. They want to see America go on, but they just want the sodomites to go in their own state and do it and stay out of their business. That's the mindset. A Republican will pop up. Well, I don't. Whatever somebody does in their own home and their own life, that's on them. I just don't want it around me. But see, the difference between that and us is that we're telling you through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahshua, no, that has to be eliminated off the earth. Period. There is no space in a righteous earth for a sodomite. There is no space in a righteous earth for people to be eating abominations. There is no space in a righteous earth, okay, for for the nation of Edom. Okay, for them to be ruling over us, man. There is no space in the righteous earth, all right, for you to be charging us this type of interest and all these different things. So all these things we're calling it out, and we're telling you the whole system as a whole has to be demolished. There is no, oh well, we gotta take America back. No, this is it's done. It's over. America, Babylon the Great, as it is written, Jeremiah, what is it? Either 50 or 51, I always forget. But it says we would have healed Babylon, but she would not be healed. Take balm for her pain, roughly paraphrasing. Why? Because there is no amount of healing. They're searching out a way. How can we fix this problem? I was speaking to an individual today. He was saying, yeah, he completely lost faith in the system. And that's how most people feel. Everyday people pretty much feel like that. They've lost faith in the system of American democracy, man. Okay, because it enables and encourages people like Diddy, and then they turn around and and bring him down, which he is wicked as hell and he deserves it. But you're the same ones that empowered him. You see, in order to deceive the Lord's people, the so-called Black, Latino, and Native American, to deceive us with your witchcrafts and your gangster rap and the small hats sponsored all of it. So here it is, you push it, and then when it's time to take somebody down, you're ready to take them down, which that's all the Lord anyways, because we're glad that he's getting taken down. I've been had a Kool-Aid smile all week thinking about and watching the videos on this nigga Puffy getting taken down, man. But it's just the hypocrisy of Esau, Edom, of how their society enables this type of behavior. They glorify this type of behavior. All right, you have a place called Sin City, Las Vegas. There's a city called Sin City in America. Okay, in what righteous world? And this is where these Republicans, these conservatives, they're delusional because they think that somehow America can be saved or American people can be a place of righteousness. It's never been a place of righteousness. It's always been a place of bloodshed. All right. You established it on genocide of not just any people, but the Lord's holy people. And it's really like remarkable that these people can't see how it was all a setup. You enslaved the Israelites from the beginning, and it all makes sense. This is the biggest empire, okay, that the earth has ever seen up until this point. Okay, America. And it makes sense that it would be built on the backs of the Israelites because the Lord had it set up, when you deal with ancient Babylon, when they took the nobles into captivity in order to build up their kingdom. The same thing they did with modern Babylon. They took the tribes of Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. They took them. All right, primarily they took who? The head tribe, Judah. And what did they do? They used them to build up their kingdom. And how did they become the greatest kingdom? Well, they used the Lord's people, specifically the tribe of Judah and really all the tribes, okay? But one of the main engines that they used was the tribe of Judah, the so-called American black man, and they still use them to this day. When they want to sell stuff, they get the LeBrons out there, they get the Kobe's out there, they get the Kanye's out there, they get the Jay-Z's out there. They know how to use and push the buttons because they know they can use the Lord's people because we make things trendy, all right? Especially Judah being the head tribe. So again, it's obvious that this is America, Babylon the Great, and it's obvious that this is the greatest empire, and the Lord's people was used to build it up. You see, because people say, well, every empire went into slavery, but this is the biggest empire ever. Okay, all nations went into slavery, but it wasn't at the level of the transatlantic slave trade, and it wasn't at the level of you building up an empire that runs the whole planet. This has never happened before. You see. This has never happened before. Okay, you've had, even during the time of the Babylonians, the Greeks, they ruled huge amounts of the earth, but they never ran the whole planet. Okay, which even then, you could say that, okay, you got Russia, that's an opposition to America and NATO and the EU, but yet it's still Edom ruling. So pretty much Edom has dominion over the whole planet. All right, right now, as it stands, Esau Edom has dominion over the whole planet. All right. So it's no coincidence that you just so happen to enslave so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans to build it up. Is that just a coincidence? No, it's biblical prophecy. And now you have done what you've done, and now the time has come where there's a recompense upon you, and you don't like it. And you don't like that the Lord has set up men in your kingdom to call you out. There's an altar in the midst of Egypt right now, an altar of sacrifice, which is the brothers going out and preaching, man, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai by Shem Kakodash. From the apostles of Great Millstone, the elders and the bishops on down to the babes and Yahweh Shai, like myself, right? Yeah, what are we doing? We're chanting down Babylon, and it won't stop. All right, and we're not tied in with a 501c3. You see, you know the Lord has it on us. We're hazarding our lives. You know the Lord has put a courageous spirit upon His men, to where we're not timid about this message. We're going out there and boldly proclaiming it out on the highway, and that's why going out on the highways and hedges is so important, man. Because it's important that we make ourselves a living sacrifice and be a spectacle, and that's an expression of faith in the Lord. To where we're going to go out there and tell these people that their kingdom's about to be obliterated, all right? And pretty much daring you to do something about it, mocking you, all right? Laughing about your downfall, okay? Telling you you're going to be our slaves, like how this is a shame. This is bringing shame to the so-called white man. All right, this is bringing shame to him, because how can you not corral these rebellious so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans? We're supposed to be slaves in your kingdom, but here it is. We out here, through the spirit of the Lord, because the Lord has protection on us. We're moving and still condemning your kingdom, and the Lord is taking care of us. Brothers have jobs, some brothers have businesses, some brothers have other things that they're doing to, pretty much brothers are being upstanding citizens, quote unquote, but still coming out and telling you your judgment. You see? And it's very hard, like how they're gonna do it, they're gonna demonize us, they're gonna slander us, they're gonna lie on us. The betrayal is gonna come, they're gonna put all the accusations out there, they're gonna put us on the news. But it's still hard, it's not gonna be easy for Esau to do all this, because at the end of the day, what do you have against us? You can't entrap us and do all the shit like how you take down a P. Diddy. You can't do that to us. You can't do that to us, because all we're doing is preaching the word. And according to the laws of the country that you established, there's something called free speech. So we're supposed to be allowed to believe, all right, according to the laws that you made, all right, that we can believe that America's Babylon the Great. And according to the Bible, it says that Babylon the Great is America. Why can't we believe that it's America? You see? So it's going to be hard for them, even though, yeah, they're going to say, well, that's pretty much, what's the word I'm looking for? Some, not sedition, something along the lines. They're going to try to pin it on us, to where, we are pretty much betraying Babylon. But at the end of the day, hey, we believe that America's Babylon the Great. We believe that the Lord is going to come back to destroy it. What's the harm in us believing in that? We're not advocating violence. We're not advocating we're going to do anything about it in terms of we're going to take up arms. We're not doing that. All we're doing is coming out with the Bible, reading it. So, hey, if it's just a harmless book, if it's nothing, it seems like much ado about nothing, right? Then what's the problem? Because they know deep down that it isn't just that this is actually us speaking it into existence through the Spirit of the Lord. The end is being spoken into existence. And that's why it's so important that we go out on the highways and hedges through the Spirit of the Lord, that we put up these lessons through the Spirit of the Lord, because it's just adding on, it's an onslaught. It's an onslaught of righteousness. It's a stream of righteousness that can't be stopped. So the more we add on to it, it's just overwhelming them. You see? You know, like Jake, the Wu-Tang Clan, they say Wu-Tang kill the bees on the swarm. Well, really, that's us, man, through the spirit. Okay, because it's just like a hornet nest. When you get them yellow jackets and when you threaten the nest, and I know from experience because I dealt with this shit before. Hey man, you got to run for your life. When that swarm gets going, the yellow jacket, and they feel threatened, you know, I tell the story. It was funny as hell. I had, I was mowing the lawn, and I didn't know that it was a swarm of, it was a nest, a soccer ball sized nest, and when I was mowing the lawn, I was going over it, and I knew there was some bees, but I didn't know what it was, and they felt threatened, and they came for my ass. Luckily, I had some baggy sweatpants on. I think I got stung like once, but they really wanted to. They were coming for me, man. I had to run it. I had to run for my life. I had to get inside. I was trying to swipe them off for me and shit. But it's like, again, bringing it back around. That's like brothers. That's like the brothers, man. It's just like a yellow jacket swarm, and it just keeps coming for you. They're relentless, man. You know, they're relentless. They'll just keep coming until you pretty much die. People have died from being stung, being caught in a yellow jacket swarm, man. That shit is no joke. And the difference with a yellow jacket and a bumblebee, if I'm not mistaken, a yellow jacket can keep stinging you. A bumblebee doesn't want to sting you because if it does, it dies. Like pretty much the part where the stinger comes out, like I don't know what they call that part of it, the thorax or something like that. The whole, like half the bee comes out, you know, when it stings. But a yellow jacket could just keep stinging and stinging and stinging, and it won't die. And them shits motherfucking hurt. But that's just like these things through the spirit. It's hurting Esau, man. So they would try to paint it as though the Bible is not authentic, the Bible is not real. Then why are you so threatened by what we're doing? You see, we want this to happen, man. We're telling you, and that's gotta like freak him out. That's gotta freak the so-called white man out. That we're telling him, yeah, come get us, come get us. We want you to. That's how much faith we have at the Wadi Halba Shimi al Shah, because that faith is a gift. And that's how much faith we have in our power that we're telling you, yeah, come get us. So he's like, shit, like, come get you. Like, well, why do you feel so confident in that? Because the Lord put the spirit of confidence in us, man. The Lord put the Rakak Dash in us. So where, yeah, we know that if you come for us, Isaiah 59 and 19, man, the Lord is going to raise up a standard. You see? So glorious deliverance is coming for the men that have stood wholeheartedly for righteousness, man. That have stood up for this truth, that have fed the Lord's flock. So we know and understand that the Lord is not a man that he should lie. He promised a reward to those that serve him, man. He promised a reward to his servants. He promised a reward. He promised power. He promised dominion. He promised that we would be joint heirs with Hamashiach Yahushua. Okay? So just some things to meditate on this last day of the Pasach, of the Feast of Unleavened Bread. And as you brothers, you brothers and you few sisters out there know, if you saw Apostle Elder Ramlab's last video, he said he had put up the video letting you know that tomorrow at sundown, which would be tomorrow Saturday, March 30th, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, March 30th, which is tomorrow Saturday at sundown, you can eat leaven again. Today sundown, which the sun already went down. Going into tomorrow sundown is the last day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread, which itself is the Sabbath, the holy convocation. And then the day following is also a Sabbath, all right, which is the regular Sabbath. So, with that, I'm going to go ahead and close it out, just to put out that through the spirit that this man's kingdom is, we've been saying it for years. It's very close to the end. It's been close for years, but now it's like things are just going to start to pop off, man. Things that's just out of his control. I remember a brother saying that somebody that that the Lord is going to slap the remote out of Esau's hand. You see, to where a thing that's just out of his power is going to start happening, strange apparitions. All right. The end of all things is at hand, man. Okay, the end of all things is at hand. So what manner of person ought you to be in all holy conversation and godliness? Okay. So this investment that brothers have made, this investment of our time, sacrificing, brothers could have been doing so-called, doing things, moving and shaking in the world, certain brothers, and all that we counted as dung. We counted as shit, worthless, vanity, folly, and nonsense. We counted everything this world had to offer us. We counted it all as bullshit in order to win Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. So now is the time where our investment in this truth is going to pay off. Is about to get we're about to get that return, and that's going to come by the way of increase. The Lord is going to strengthen us spiritually. You're going to see miracles, brothers that may have had issues like bodily affliction for years, and the Lord just you're going to be miraculously healed. Spiritual power, protection, miraculous deliverances. All right. So all types of things like unimaginable glory, strength, mercy, everything that the Lord promised to the men that stay faithful to him. The Lord said when he comes, will he find faith on earth? And he's looking for his faithful men. So Lord's will, we can continue on in this thing and be those faithful men. All right. I don't want to Ratazah because we know it's all according to the Lord's will. And the Lord needs, I should say, we need the Lord. The Lord don't need us. Clearly, he's the creator of heaven and earth. So, with that, all praise, glory, and honor be unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Chakwadash. I hate the water for tuning in. Lord's will was edifying. Shalom until the next one.